This is Dalton D'Rich, and you're listening to the Garrett Smith Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nifty 50. This is episode 50 of the Garrett Smith Podcast, and we have with us Dalton D'Rich today. Dalton, what's up, man?
Oh, man, how have you been? How's it going, man?
Pretty good and pretty busy. I usually do one podcast a week, and it's like I just interviewed Charlie Cope, and we, at the time of us recording this, we actually have not released his episode yet. So I've got two that I'm going to be releasing in 1 week. So y'all are kind of like the daily double. So if anyone out there is going to be binging, you're going to have a lot of stuff to hear from Dalton and Charlie both.
Awesome, man. Well, heck yeah, I see you've been kind of busy. I saw you down around. Heck, you're playing around Houston, and then I followed before, like you were saying, before we had to do the kind of COVID deal. I was kind of following your podcast before that, man. You've had a bunch of people on here, dude.
Yeah, so, it's been a whole trip. Like if something good came out of COVID, it was definitely getting to meet a bunch of people on this podcast, and
absolutely.
I think that was about the time I think I started following you too. So this has been long overdue.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we've been kind of staying in touch with each other, and I'm glad we finally get to talk a little bit.
Well, it's kind of cool because, you know, what some people know and some people don't is I love red dirt Texas country music. I love 90s country and all that stuff, but I am a shameless fan of like the dirt rock, hick hop stuff. Not pop country out of Nashville. That's not my thing, but like the average
like
Joe's, Colt Ford, all those guys. And so
absolutely.
I saw that Justin Champagne was playing in Houston, and I believe you were opening for him. And I was like, dude, I'm not the only one that knows who this is. Cool.
Man, so yeah, it's funny because I've always kind of, I've been into that kind of music, and I've listened to it before it was really known, like the dirt rock's been around, or, the Lack's been around for like 12 years.
Oh yeah.
And they just kind of started getting into the picture recently a few years ago in this, I guess, in the younger crowd, and the kind of more mainstream crowd. And dude, I kind of, managed to get a few opening spots with Colt Ford and the Lax and like Moonshine Bandits and Champagne. And then it's kind of like steered me towards that genre now. So I'm kind of just wrapped up in everything. So, but Justin Champagne's cool, man. He came down to Houston. I met him for the first time, and we kind of hit it off, cause he's from down here, down south, and we are as well. So I said, well, man, we kind of became good friends, good buddies. And he goes, hey, man, what are you doing? It was Thursday. He goes, what are you doing Friday night? I said, dude, I ain't got nothing. He goes, hop in the truck. Let's go come open for me down in Austin. I said, absolutely. Wow. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. So we went down that night and hung out. It was neat, man. He's a good guy. Good people over there.
Was that the show where somebody was wearing like a Snuggie or a onesie or something? I'm trying to remember. I think it was y'all's show. I saw somebody was wearing something.
That was so that was a Lax.
Oh, okay.
And that was a Lax, and that was with Lax and Dusty Lee. And I had my I'm sure we'll talk about more of this later. I had bought a Bigfoot costume for a music video, to get your backwards on music video, and to put in the thing. And my brother, who went to acting school kind of a little bit in college, I said, hey man, you want to play Bigfoot? He goes, yes, absolutely. And so he did it in the music video, and then we kind of like, I said, well, dude, why don't we just incorporate this thing with a couple shows? And he was there for the Lax thing, and I said, hey man, I'm gonna give you this cue. You come up on stage in the Bigfoot costume and walk around the stage. Pat throw out shirts and koozies and all that good stuff. And dude, it was a hit, man. Everybody. I didn't know how people were gonna take it. And everybody loved it there. Fortunately, they loved it. And unfortunately, he didn't get tackled by security backstage, thinking that somebody was thinking that somebody. I had to tell security backstage. I said, hey man, look, I said, I'm gonna have Bigfoot. I'm gonna have a guy sneak back here, put a Bigfoot costume on, and run around. I said, please don't shoot him, or please don't stab him and tackle him. And they said, all right, man. I said, we're good with it. So I was like, cool. So, but no, that's what that thing was. That's a new addition.
Well, I'd like to see more of a scene for that in Texas, because like the only show I've seen from any of those artists, and for the listeners to know, when I say average Joes, I'm not saying that they're average. I'm saying the company Average Joes is where a lot of them come from. And that's Shannon, I think his name's Houchins or something like that, and Colt Ford.
Yeah, Shannon's somebody. He was kind of one that started it.
Yeah.
And then kind of picked that cult forward, and
But there's actually Texas artists too. Like people don't realize that Rich O'Toole actually still works them. He's got a Buffalo Records or Buffalo Rome Records, which is like I don't know if you would call it a spinoff, but it's like related to Average Joe's. And Kevin Fowler, Kevin Fowler was an Average Joe, actually.
I know, dude. When I started looking into Average Joe's, I said, well, dang, I said Rich O'Toole, I said Kevin Fowler. That's big Texas country names.
Yeah.
And they were average. They were signed Average Joe's. I mean, now I guess they're kind of doing their own thing. I don't know if they still work with them. I still see them kind of collaborate every once in a while. But dude, that's what I said. I mean, I kind of, I don't see a whole lot of Texas guys doing it, and it's just the more I do it, the more fun it is. And it's kind of weird because we were talking about, I recently signed with this management team down here. And they were like, man, let's try to push that Texas country rock, your red dirt. And let's try to see if we can somehow merge it with this, hip hop kind of country rap stuff and just see. And I said, it's never been done before. I'm down. Let's give it a shot, And but I said, because Rich O'Toole never really rapped. Kevin Fowler never really rapped, but I said, well, let's do a Texas country song and put like a country rapper on it to see how it comes out. And so that's kind of how we're working on now.
That's awesome. Because and this kind of goes into the folder with, I'm glad I'm not the only one. The volume 3 album I'm working on with my band right now. I wouldn't say that we didn't try to be country, but it's one of those. It's going to practically be a hard rock album with some fiddle sprinkled in here and there and country lyrics. And there's one song that's, and let me go ahead and put a disclaimer. I'm not a rapper. I can't pull it off. I'm not going to be doing that. But there is one that sounds like a Moonshine Bandit song that we're going to do. And it's called Auction Lot. And it sounds dirty, but it's really all about farm equipment if you pull your mind out of the gutter. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to experimenting with it. Yeah. I wish, I've only gotten to meet one of those folks, Sarah Ross. I don't know if you've listened to her, but she played in Houston a few years ago with Kirk Baxley and then Danny Warsnop from Asking Alexandria. Yeah. It was a cool show. I actually got to meet her for a little bit. Really nice. But enough about the other artists, because what I want to know is your music career. Where did you kind of get started, and who were your early influences, way before we stumbled on these artists?
So I started playing guitar when I was about maybe elementary school, and as anybody knows, the attention span was just not there for that. So it was about one guitar lesson, and then that was it. And I always go back to my buddies like, hey man, I can play guitar. I could not play guitar, but I took one lesson. And then I went to college. I did baseball my whole life, so that was like the number one thing, So music was not even in the picture. Middle school, high school, I loved it. It was there. I would write some stuff every once in a while in high school, but never saw like, oh man, it ain't gonna be nothing. Well, then in college, I went to Angelina Junior College in Lufkin, and my dad was in the '80s rock band, was kind of my age, and he started playing acoustic guitar. And he goes, dude, why don't you just pick it up while you're in college? You're going to have a lot of sitting around time, this and that. And I said, well, I'll try it. So I went and got a cheap guitar and learned the chords. And then I would play like 3 hours every day because there was nothing else to do. It was like practice, school, and chill because you're dead. But I started doing that, and I started writing songs, and I played for buddies. And they're like, man, that kind of sounds good. And I was like, well, thanks, man. And then I kind of did that all throughout college. And we kind of did a little home studio ourselves at my parents' house, and we started doing just making songs. We throw a drum beat on there. I play guitar to it. I'd sing to it and try to master it, but it was full songs. They sounded nothing like you would want to release. And when I feel like everybody had to start there at one point in their life. And then when I got out of college, I was writing a bunch. It wasn't playing out. I'd played for parties, but didn't really actually play live. And I was nervous, dude. I was scared. And then I met with this producer down in Houston. I went to a Guitar Center in League City, And I was like, hey man, do y'all know any producers around here that could just like, give me a demo, just something, I want to hear what these songs I write came out, as fully produced song. And I got with this guy, and we did the first, went in there, and he was actually fronting as both a vocal coach / producer. And I said, okay, so I'm learning how to really perfect the art of singing while producing songs. And dude, we went in there and started working on the Going Coastal album, which that was a 12-song album. And then I think we cut like 14 songs. And then I got like, I think I did maybe like 5 more with him. And that's kind of how it all started, And then and then playing out live. So that studio over there was they were kind of their little like boutique record company, I guess. And they were having an award show, and he goes, hey man, you want to play 3 songs? And I was kind of like, no, but like, yeah. He goes, all right, man, you're set for this, like 9:30 to 10 o'clock. You have the whole stage. And I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. And first show out the box, there was like 140 people out in front of me, dude. And I was sweating, and I was, I played the songs like 50 plus BPMs, what they were supposed to be. But after that, I was like, okay, I'm hooked now. Let's go. So,
wow, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's crazy little ride, but it was fun. Good experience.
Well, speaking of songs, you mentioned some that shouldn't be released. I'm going to play one that should be released and was released. And a quick little side note, in addition to the music itself, I love the design of the cover for this. The Dive Bar Certified. It's
Absolutely.
The literal certification.
Oh yeah, man. I actually did that myself. I was caught. That was right when COVID was kind of at its prime. I was trying to get a person to design a professional logo for it, but I couldn't get them to do it. Okay, one of them got sick, and I said, you know what, screw it, I'm doing it myself. And I went and found like the certification thing, and like edited it and did it out. And they were like, everybody goes, that's my favorite one. I was like, huh, interesting.
It's pretty cool. Well, I'm going to play that right here. This is Dive Bar Certified.
Check mark by my Instagram handle, but I can drink a lot of beer and waste a shit ton of ammo. You can catch me chasing whitetails in my blue jean jacket with a can of Copenhagen, feeding my nicotine habit. Well, I drink, sing, and cuss. Yeah, I can't get enough of seeing that sun come up after howling at the moon. I don't buy all my strings from a guy in Indonesia, but I drink cheap whiskey and eat $5 pizza. I've got some rowdy ass friends that make more money than I do, and when we all get together, there ain't no bar we can't burn through. Hell, we drink, sing, and cuss. Well, we can't get enough of seeing that sun come up after howling at the moon. After howling at the moon. We are dive bar certified. I can show you my badge beating right here in this guitar. There's just of seeing that sun come up. After howling at the moon, after howling at the moon, after howling at the moon. After howling at the moon.
Dive bar certified. So that one, you know, we kind of mentioned the design story, and it was kind of funny. But what would you say of all your songs? Which ones have the best backstories?
But that one probably is the most. I mean, all of them are truthful songs. But that one, I was kind of like, I want to say, had the best backstory because it was like I was trying to write not names. I was trying to write mainstream and real, like in between the lines. And then that song, I said, you know what? Let me just write a kind of, you know, not a completely outside the line song, but kind of one of them, you know, Texas red dirt kind of just screw it songs and put it out, you know, because it cusses in there. It talks about Copenhagen snub. It talks about getting drunk and running around and, you know, whatever it is. So let's put it out there. And that one's one that I love playing live because, you know, of course it sounds good with a full band, but acoustically, man, it's cool, and it kind of comes out the way I want it to acoustically. And then, you know, if you got, I know the other day we did an intro for this song with full band, and we kind of like all harmonized to the drink, sing, and cuss part. And this kind of sounds cool, man. I almost want to just kind of finish playing the song acoustic. But that one, now I was talking about the best backstory because it's real true about, you know, the buddies I've got and the people that I've kind of played in front of. And then we actually shot a music video for that one. And that was fun shooting because it was like, you know, we did everything in one take. You know, it was like camera was on and they were like throwing me stuff and I was like breaking stuff and like drinking beer and shot like, you know, putting a dip in, cracking a sawed-off shotgun over my knee and watching the shell exchange out, all that stuff. We did it in one take. So that was kind of a fun, I guess, the best backstory I have. But
Like it. What which song would you say means the most to you?
Oh, so man, and so that one and Going Coastal. Because Going Coastal was the first one, I guess the most popular. But dude, I have and I guess I wrote a song during COVID, and it's one I play out. When I play live, I play it every time, but I play it acoustically. And it ain't released yet. And it's kind of one of those, like, you know, you can see them big artists, like everybody wants the song to release, but they only play it live and haven't released it yet. That's kind of how I feel like this one is. I'm gonna release it, but it's just I got to get it right. And I'll make this story short because I can make it as long as I want. But during COVID, I got a farmhouse or a little bitty some land out in East Texas. And we went out there and we were fishing on this creek. And I went walking down the creek bed and we ran into this, like, if you pictured like what is that, like Naked and Afraid kind of thing, you know, like a Naked and Afraid shack on the side of the river where somebody had been living out in the middle of the woods by themselves. And it was literally like yopon bushes as a roof, you know, pine trees tied up. And I was like, dude, this stuff's real. And we came up and there's a pile of wet clothes, a journal, and we had been drinking. We had a little bit of liquid courage. And I said, man, I'm going to read that journal. So I said, there ain't no telling what, you know. It had one log in it, man. We were there May 23rd. It was log May 20th. And it was this woman living out in the middle of the woods by herself with, like, no lights, no phone. She was talking about, like, she's got no drugs. She's got no phone. She's got one cigarette. She can't get high to forget about how scary the woods is. She has no light. See if something's sneaking up on her. And she was actually running away from this guy that she was trying to break up with. And just all kind of, and I was like, I tell people the story and I'm like, dude, you're making this up. And I'm like, man, I said, I've got witnesses. I'll let them talk to you. But So I did that. I came home and I wrote a song about it. It's called Turkey Creek Confessions, this song called. And it's real kind of like Whiskey Myers, Tyler Childers-ish, you know. And I played it live, and people will cry. People will they'll just kind of stop. I'm like, man, what's wrong with y'all? They're like, dude, that song, it's got to come out. And I'm like, I'm trying, because I've never actually released a sad song, and this is kind of like sad, and like you said, you know, like a Broken Window Serenade kind of stuff. And that's probably the one that means the most right now. And I'm hoping I can get it out here soon so that everybody can kind of feel what I felt on it. So
that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Wow. Oh yeah, that should be interesting when that one comes out. So
it's interesting before it comes out.
yeah, that's what everybody kind of says.
Well, I may now already know the answer to this next question, but if you could film a music video to any of your songs, what would it be?
So that one would probably be number one. And then like if talking about ones that are already out, we've got videos on kind of all the ones that are my favorite, but now I'm seeing, you know, when you release an album, you don't know what song's going to take off or what. And there's a song called Back to My Roots on that first Going Coastal album. And I really want to shoot a video for that one. We haven't shot a video for that one yet. And that's kind of one I've always wanted to shoot a video on, to see how it came out with and see how the, you know, public would respond to it. It's kind of one of them. It's kind of like a Brantley Gilbert kind of song, you know, real heavy, like you were saying, real heavy rock with some kind of country twang in it. And that's kind of what I want to shoot a video on and see how it would come out, see what would happen, I guess.
Well, that's going to be cool. Well, I meant to actually kick the episode off with a song, but we can throw one in here. Which song should we play here?
Oh man, do Coffee, Whiskey, and Marble Red.
Awesome.
I got a hole in the sole of my boots 'cause I like to jam. Every damn dive bar in this town till 3 a.m. Give me some flat, boy, and I can make that thing a bed. Living off coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros. Yeah, I said coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros. Put rubber to the blacktop pavement so these country girls can shake it. Rocking out till I bust a string, and when I do, I'll just ride the E, a little thump thump. 808, give me bump bump. And I'm honky tonkin', hankin', crankin' till they lay me dead. Living off coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros. Dropping in between that kick drum beat. It's swaying like the freight in some worn out cut off jeans. Fireball's got a sting like a bite from a copperhead. Living off coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros. Hey, yeah, I said coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros. Rubber to the blacktop pavement so these country girls can shake it. Rocking out till I bust a string, and when I do, I just ride the E, a little thump thump. 808, give me bump bump. And I'm honky tonkin', hankin', crankin' till they lay me dead. Living off coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros. Soul in my boots 'cause I like to jam. And every damn dive bar in this town till 3 a.m. Putting rubber to the blacktop pavement so these country girls can shake it. Rocking out till I bust a string, and when I do, I just ride the E, a little thump thump. 808, give me bump bump. And I'm honky tonkin', hankin', crankin' till they lay me dead. Living off coffee, whiskey, and Marlboros.
So what are some of your favorite venues or towns to perform?
Man, for sure, the Wildcatter Saloon in Katy, they've got it going on over there. It's good people and real down home people. And they were actually closed for a while. And that like bar rescue dude kind of went and rescued that place. And now it is are you familiar with that? Have you ever heard of that venue familiar down there with Katy?
I'd heard of it. Yeah. I don't know if they were open at the time I left Houston, but I have heard about them.
Yeah, they were closed for the longest time, man, and they finally opened it back up. And it's like they have it set up right, because if it's raining, you could do it indoors, and then they had this big old gigantic stage outdoors in this like field. So like, you know, when that's why I opened for Colt Ford and the Lax, and when they come in, you know, they bring a good crowd. And they got a bar out there, and it's kind of over this bridge, and it's so fun. They got it going on. And then there's a place in Georgetown called Barrels and Amps, and I played there a few times. Yeah, that place, man, I love that place as well. You know, it's kind of a little, you know, the town's cool first off, but it's kind of like a little music hall and a nice little stage kept up with it, and the PA is provided, and they give you a sound guy, so it's like that takes a lot of hassle off your back. You just plug in and play. But
well, have you seen Roots? It's like the restaurant sandwich bar. So I've played a couple of shows there, and the first time we played there, it was that, I guess, when they do like the first Friday or whatever, and it's like everybody's out on the town, and so we had a really good crowd, and we actually collected some fans not collected, but gained some fans that night. And we went outside though, and Barrels and Amps was packed, and I was like, who is competing with us and burying us tonight? Like, so we walked across the street, and it was he's in a million bands, AJ Vallejo. I forgot which of his bands it was. Brody Lane, yeah. And they were rocking out, and I was like, I know who this is. Well, so fast forward like 2 months, we go play another show, and when we get out, it's not the first Friday, so there's not really many people out and about, but there's still a crowd trying to pack into Barrel and Amps. I was like, well, this is even bigger, now who do they have? I walk over, and it's Love and Chaos with AJ Vallejo. I was like, how many of his bands are going to kick my butt when I play in Georgetown?
Good gracious. I've seen him all over the place, man. That's what he's got it going on. And I saw, that's cool. Yeah. I saw Sam Riggs played there, and I heard he packed it out, but, dude, I've always wondered where that Roots was when I was trying to, when I was searching for venues. I ran up on that Roots. And I didn't even know. I thought it was in Round Rock. I knew it was in Georgetown. I was out walking before my show there at Barrels and Amps, and I passed by Roots, and somebody was actually playing. It was packed in there, and I said, "Well, this place is awesome, man." They got a cool little stage there in the corner, or whatever, and so I guess they kind of compete with each other right there, which is kind of neat. So,
yeah, it's a weird stage. Like, it's kind of cool, but like my drummer, we're a 3-piece band because it's just easy. And my drummer's always in the window. I'm kind of in the middle section. My guitar player's off on the side because it's like a thin stage that goes down the wall. So you don't even have the whole band in one set. Weird, but it's cool. We enjoy it. Like, we always have a good time there.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that town, man. And you would think, because being Austin right there, and Austin's country some parts, and country not more Americana in places, but they love country music there in Georgetown and Round Rock. It's like you get a good crowd that knows country, and that will actually. I mean, they pay. It's like a $5 cover there, and they'll pay it. They don't care who's playing up there. They'll pay it. Just come listen to country music. And I'm like, well, this is awesome, man. Good town. And I hope more places open like that, kind of around Austin, because Austin's hard to get into, unless you're like George Strait or somebody.
It's kind of in Houston, like, and this is what I'm preaching to the choir, but Houston can be tough because unless you're a metalhead or a rapper, you pretty much already have to be an established country artist to play there, or you have to know someone who lets you open for them. I mean, it's very hard to cut your teeth in Houston.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I learned that right when I started off, because I was hanging out with a bunch of rockers. I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to. We're a music family because it's a local deal, but I said, I ain't gonna be able to make a name here because everybody's it's hard country crowd. But like I said, if you get with if you can find people that are a lot farther along, like you said, a lot farther along than you than me, and then it's like you kind of let them, you kind of tag along with them and, hey man, can I come just play a couple songs for you at your show? And then it grows and rolls on from there. And then you find the country bars and stuff like that. So, but
that's true. That's part of like, I love living in Temple because we moved from Houston to Central Texas. So in Temple, we're an hour and a half from Fort Worth, an hour from Austin, an hour and a half from College Station, just over 2 hours, 2.5 hours from San Antonio. So it's kind of like, it's an easy trip to any other part of Texas except West Texas. You know, if you're talking Amarillo and El Paso, that's going to the moon. But I love it because like it's hard to get local gigs, even here in Temple. And Temple and Waco kind of have this beef with each other, so they don't like to book each other's bands. But when a local barbecue place won't even email or call me back, and it's like people say, "Well, you need to, you're stretching yourself too thin. Don't go all over the place." I'm like, what am I going to do? Wait on the barbecue store to call me back? I could go play in Louisiana. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I was kind of the same way. And that's what I've got a bunch of buddies that live in like Hutto, which is right outside of Round Rock. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's right beside you, man, right beside Temple. And
home of the hippos.
Right there, man. Home of the hippos. The Hutto hippos. Absolutely. And dude, I'll go down there and hang out. And I said, I'd actually moved there for a little while, and with the same kind of idea as you, like, I'm an hour, I'm like an hour and a half or 2 hours from Dallas, an hour from Waco, hour from, 30 minutes from Austin. You're just kind of in the middle of everything. So it's like, Keith's is 3 hours away, and it's like, it's tough, but unless you want to just beat the road, which I think I've done a bunch, but that's what I said. I said, if I could ever get it to where it's like, like you get a tour going or something, I would just be like, I'm going to plant my states. I'm going to plant my roots here in like center Texas or somewhere. That way it's like it's easy directions to everywhere then. So.
Well, you and I need to get our bands together and go through like Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama sometime. Just basically anywhere where there's a Bojangles, like we need to go hit up those like dirt rock crowds.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I played Louisiana a couple weeks ago. Dude, I didn't realize how big of a country. I knew they were a country crowd, and Louisiana is real big on their Cajun music as well. Yeah. But they love country music just as much as anything else, man. I was like, I need to go to Louisiana more, man, and kind of go knock on Champagne's door and say, hey, man, let me stay with you for a couple weeks, and
Warning, Justin Champagne, we're gonna crash your house. We're coming.
Yeah, we're gonna show up. He'd probably love that. He'd be like, y'all come on, man. I'm like, all right. So,
well, if we show up at Colt Ford's place, just blasting our music to, get his attention, he gets mad. Just say, look, I watched that Big Smo show on A&E. We got the idea from y'all.
Yeah, y'all did it first. We're just trying to follow in your footsteps, man. So, but and I have yet to meet. I've opened for Colt Ford, and he was sick. I think he wasn't feeling well that day I opened for him, and I haven't met him yet. I heard he's a freaking awesome dude, man, and I'm trying. I think as of now we're opening for him next Friday down in Clear Lake.
Oh, cool.
And, hopefully I can talk to him or something, because I've heard he's just a cool down home guy. I said, well, I got to meet him, man. Shake hands, get a picture or something at least.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that'd be cool. Well, speaking of things you'd like to do, what are some of your upcoming plans and things where people should expect next from you?
Man, so there's a bunch kind of bubbling up now. We got back from we went to Tennessee. Like I said, I'm working with that management guy. We went to Tennessee in June and cut a song with Dusty Lee, which Dusty Lee is kind of on tour with Lax now. And so we got a song with him coming out. Oh, cool. I'm going to say towards the end of this year, because we're actually going up to Tennessee to shoot a video for it. I think either end of September or early October. And then we're doing that. And then we got a couple songs that we're working on with Stormy Cooper down in Houston.
Nice.
And cutting a couple with him. And then I'm working with a guy in Louisiana at a studio over there and doing a song with him. So it's like I'm just spread all over freaking everywhere right now. But that's what I'm I'm trying to book like you and your band. I'm trying to book as many places as I can, trying to get as many opening shows or just, whatever I can that'll just build the audience, I guess, build the audience. And first off, they're fun there, but second, it's all about, getting the right show. And I'm trying to hotspot around some of these country rap guys and get with them because my music fits best with them. So I've got that as far as music wise. And then, as in show wise, I'm waiting on confirmation for that Colt Ford deal the September 17th. And then I'm going to be with Overtime September 24th at the BFE Rock Club. And then we just actually booked a show October 23rd at Barrels and Amps. Now that we were just talking about it.
Oh, cool. Wait, what date is that? Because I'm like literally pulling out my calendar right now.
Oh yeah, that is October 23rd down there at Barrels and Amps, man, and that'll be a full band show. And as of, I'm trying to think, man, anything else? I'm not sure yet. We're working on we're trying to get in that lot. Well, we got word that we're in it, but until we really hear confirmation, I won't really believe it yet. But there's the Lone Star Rally down in Galveston. We're trying to get on the stage for that one because Colt Ford's coming down, and we might try to get on the stage with him. That's like in November or something. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if my mind goes that far yet, but
well, and my brain just blanked. Who'd you say you were open for at Barrels and Amps?
That's going to be just me. That's going to be we're going to headline that one, and they're going to have an acoustic opener kind of come up before us. So I think it said like the acoustic opener is like from 8 to 9, and we're on from like 9:30 to 10:30 or 11 or something like that.
Cool. That is like, I think, unless I'm mistaken, that's like one of my only very few free days in October. So I live 30 minutes north of there, so I'm gonna try. I make no guarantees. I'm gonna see if I can come down there. And the audience is probably thinking, well, if I had a nickel for every time somebody says, "Hey, I'll be at your show," and doesn't.
I know, dude. Well, and that's the good thing about it is, I understand completely. I've told many people that, and it's like, man, I'll try to, I'll make it, and then I can't guarantee it, and then it's like, I look at my calendar, I was like, man, I got something booked for that day. I can't make it down there, So there is no hard feelings if you do not come down there. Trust me, man. I understand completely. But if you do come down there, we'll have a good time.
Dude, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For
Absolutely.
sure. Well, you ready for the big three questions?
I am, man. Let's hear them some guys.
All right. So number one, if you could collaborate with anyone out there, who would it be?
Ooh, okay. Dead or alive? I'd say that.
I usually say alive, or else the collaboration would be rather awkward. But you can go ahead and name who you would if they were still alive.
Man, I was and my head's thinking, dude, for sure, Kid Rock. I'd love to do something with Kid Rock at some point in my lifetime. And I don't know if I'll ever be at that. I'm gonna try to push it, because I got a feeling one day we'll meet him, and one day we'll get some contacts. And I'd love to get a thing with Kid Rock. Also, who else? I was thinking like Dead. I mean, I don't know, Stevie Ray Vaughan maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be neat. Have him playing guitar on it with Kid Rock and me singing, and him in the background doing some kind of stuff. That'd probably be a dream, But and also, I tell you, this is kind of off the wall, but I'd love to. Corey Taylor's kind of hopping around with the Slipknot guy. He's hopping around in the country rap world now, man.
Have you seen the Moonshine Bandits video he was in?
I have, dude. That's where that's where. I said, when I saw him, I was like, I think they messed the name up. There ain't no way. And then what do you know, dude? I pull it up, and it's a Moonshine Bandits, and Corey Taylor sitting there doing a country rap song. And I'm like, okay, well, I would love to do a collaboration there.
He can rap. I was like, what can he not sing?
yeah. Because I knew he could belt anything. Then I saw him start rapping, and I was like, okay, this guy's not human, man. This guy, which he may not be human, but I don't know.
I mean, like, it's like Post Malone. I've never really listened to much of his stuff, but then I listened to him do the Dwight Yoakam cover and some other stuff. Yeah. I'm like, well, he can sing.
Absolutely. He shocked me because I had my brother. I got a younger brother, and he listens to Post Malone a bunch because that's it's that generation of every kind of music. And Post Malone's obviously big in it. And he goes, "Yeah, dude, Post Malone used to sing country music," and I was like, "There's no way." And lo and behold, he puts out Brad Paisley's and Dwight Yoakam stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, he can," and he can play the guitar a little bit as well. So I'm like, "Huh." There you go.
I'd like to hear Corey Taylor do like a country, and when I say country, I mean like real country, steel guitar, fiddle, slow version of Snuff. Like I think that would make a great country song.
Oh my gosh, man! I told him, I love Slipknot's version of Snuff. Now, obviously, his acoustic version will make your the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. But I said, dude, I don't know why he doesn't like do a country version of Snuff. Why? Like, I don't know if there's some kind of like written contract somewhere. But he said, honestly, like you said, you put fiddle in that, maybe like some steel or like some dobro or something. Dude, that'd be a radio song.
Oh, for sure.
Oh gosh.
Man, we're spitting gold ideas tonight. I hope at least one of these people we're giving ideas to and say, hey, these guys know how I should live my life.
Yeah, somebody knows somebody who knows somebody else who can like say, hey, man, go listen to these guys. And they got some ideas going.
Well, I just realized, before I skip to the second of the big three, I do want to make sure people know if they're not already following you, where can they follow you and hear your music and everything?
Man, so it is everywhere. And I know the main ones are like Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify's Dalton D'Rich, D''Rich, as is Apple Music. And right now, YouTube is my biggest platform as of date. That's kind of what I push everyone to because we shot a few music videos, and it's Dalton D'Rich as well. And then as all the socials, Instagram, Facebook. I get on Twitter every once in a while, but I tend to forget about it. But I get on it every once in a while, and it's Dalton D'Rich, no space, and same as Instagram, and then Facebook as well. And I got a personal Facebook and a business Facebook. So if you just follow one, it'll lead to the other, and we'll get linked up like that either way. So, but
cool. All right. So here it is. Number 2, if you could headline any venue, where would you go play?
Oh, man. So I would have to probably definitely say either Sturgis.
Yes.
Or Red Rocks in Colorado. And I'd probably have to lean more of Sturgis because I know, Sturgis, they're kind of right there in your face, which is what I've always loved. And Red Rocks, it's kind of the crowd's farther back. But I had to say probably Sturgis. That'd probably be a dream, just to kind of get out there and listen to that that's kind of the crowd I hang out with most of the time anyways. So it's like this is see about 3,000 of them sitting out there. I probably would pass out and somebody had to pick me up and drag me off stage and cool me off.
There's just the people watching alone up there. Like if you follow hashtag Sturgis on Instagram, it's crazy what you see.
Oh man, it's wild, and I was looking at videos of the day on it. I thought Kid Rock had actually just played there or something, and dude, I was just looking at the people, and it was like, like how could you not? I mean, I don't even know. How could you not get so pumped up? Your just head explodes.
I think
once you ride on that stage.
Well, like ZZ Top, one of their last shows, the Dusty Hill was there, and Gilby Clarke from one of the Guns N' Roses lineups plays there like every year.
Oh, dude!
If I opened for him, I'd pass out.
Dude, that's kind of some of them things, man, to where it's like, what do I got to do?
I've thought about going up there sometime. Like, I mean, one does not simply walk into South Dakota. I mean, it's a trip, but going up there or to like the one at Steamboat and just setting up my own tent and stage and just on the street or something, playing for everybody.
Yeah, you could play, dude. That's what I saw. I saw somebody was like busking, and they brought their own tent up there, and I think they brought like one speaker or something and just played out literally by the street when the main headline wasn't playing, and they had a little crowd going on. I was like, well, that's smart. You might make $500 in tips, which would be absolutely insane. That'd be awesome. That'd pay for your way basically there. And then you're getting to play at Sturgis. So it's like, it's actually not a bad idea.
Well, I have a song called I have a song called Rev and Ride that I actually wrote while I was at the Republic of Texas rally, and I was like, I want to play this in Sturgis and then like follow it up with like one of the Sons of Anarchy songs or something. Like that would be so cool.
Oh, dude, people would freak out, man. They just, you'd see beer being thrown everywhere, and I couldn't even imagine, man. It'd be a madhouse. That'd be awesome.
Dang it, dude! Now I want to go.
Yeah, see, I've told myself I've seen it, and I said, man, even if I can't even play there, I just want to go at some time in my life just to experience it.
Yeah.
'Cause I've had buddies of mine, people that go and they're like, dude, you ain't even got to ride. Just go up there and experience it. Drive a golf cart around. And I was like, okay. But
well, in jumping from hypothetical scenarios to true stories, the big finale question is, what is the funniest or craziest story you can tell from your music career so far?
Oh man, so there's
other than finding a random diary in the middle of the woods.
Yes. Okay, so there's a bunch. Most bad, I'll stick with the good ones. But so like I said, opening for David Allen Coe, we'd open David Allen Coe at the Wildcatter. That was probably like a big bucket list item in my head. We have to check off. And being backstage, I didn't know. First off, he comes with an army, and I'm like, he's got to, And they come in freaking leathered out. They're cool. It's cool, man, because they look intimidating as hell. But you go talk to them, they're like, oh, hey, man, you want some pizza? You want a beer? I'm like, yeah, cool. And so it was leading up to the show. We're backstage. We're kind of sound checking. I go back down. They bring him out to sound check, and it's weird. I was sitting there, and they wouldn't really let even the openers. You'd have to kind of wait to get a picture with them. I never did. I regret not getting one, but I'm sitting there, and they kind of bring it all back, and just seeing him walk out, and they had to help him up on the stage, and like seeing him just talking backstage. I'm like, dude, I can't wrap my head around this right now, because there's like one of the biggest legends ever, walking in front of me. I'm seeing him, I smell him, which is weird, but it's like, I see everything. And so I'm sitting there, and we sound check, and he sounds check, and I go and talk. So he's got this 6 foot, dude, he's 6'8", probably about 385 pound security detail guy.
Wow.
And I was like, I'll go talk. I'll talk to anybody. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at their his merch table, and it's got like pictures of him and Willie Nelson hanging out, smoking weed in the back of some bar somewhere, and like they both signed it and like burnt their cigarettes out on the paper. It's just all kind of crazy stuff, dude. And I said, hey man, what's your name? And he mumbles something, and I was like, man, I didn't get you. And he goes, my name's Doorway. And I was like, what? And I go, oh. He goes, because I'm as big as a doorway. And I was like, oh, that makes sense, And he goes, try to get through, man. I said, I'm not going to try that, but okay. So anyways, we get up before our show, the main booking guy comes up, and they had David Allen Coe stuff all set up on stage, and, his drum kits, and he had this like tambourine section set up. And he had it set up in the middle of the stage. And I was like, well, this is going to be kind of crazy. And we get up on stage and set up, and the main booking guy comes in. He goes, hey, Dalton, come here. I'm like, what's going on, man? He goes, I don't want to scare you, but all that stuff set up cannot be touched or moved. And he goes, I want you to look around. I look around, and like at each of my like stage left, stage right, stage center, there's like 3 big old guys in like leathered out vests. And they go, if you touch or knock over one of their instruments, that guy's going to come and grab you in the middle of your show and drag you off stage, and we might never see you again. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay, well, okay. I'm talking to my guitarist. His like the look on his face was like, oh my God. And we're in the middle of the show. It's a high energy show. We're kind of moving. Well, I sling my guitar neck around, dude, and I like hit their like some little bell thing. And it sounds off, and I'm like, oh my God. I said, this is it. I'm about to die. And I look at him, and you can kind of see the the guys smiling out there, and I'm like, oh man. And I said, maybe they were cool with it. Maybe we're good, but they never said anything, so I was good. That had to be kind of one of the funniest good things I could say on a podcast is that, I almost got drug off the stage by David Allen Cole's security detail in the middle of a show opening for him. So that was one
nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah, but they were cool folks, man. I didn't know what to expect, and he came with a big old, like I said, big battalion, and they were all cool. Gave us pizza, let us hang out before. I think his daughter was there. We were talking to his daughter and stuff, and I said, man, y'all are cool folks. So, but I said, they're cool, but just don't mess with them. And I was like, that makes sense, but that had to be number one right there.
That's really cool, man. Dalton, I appreciate you coming on here, man. I'm glad we were finally able to schedule this and make it happen. And
absolutely, man. I appreciate you as well, dude. It was awesome conversation.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one in Texas that's a fan of, those other genres that I usually don't get to discuss on the podcast. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Country rap, man. It's coming up. It's growing fast. So,
well, you get to pick what song we close this thing out with.
Oh man. Let's go with, Get Your Backwoods On.
There we go. All right, folks, You've been listening to Dalton D'Rich, and this is Get Your Backwoods On.
There's an old pine tree sitting out in the corner, just too damn heavy to move. Every night around sunset, crickets come out and play the same song right on cue. We're heading back in the woods like an old deer tick stuck down in a hairy hound dog. Got a jar full of shine, fired up the pit, join in, pull up a log. Ain't nobody coming up around here, take a seat right back, pop out a cold beer. We work hard for the money, buys gas, cold beer, a little wing for the honey. We'll grab a guitar, play a couple songs, sing along, light a cigar. Coming straight out the woodwork where the wild things lurk. Party up, half gone, get your backwoods on. Dripping that line ain't out the sink, it's smooth after round two. Calling heads, seeing tails, that smell. Clear white and burning blue. Chasing stars in the dark, straight out the bottle, under a midnight moon. Hadn't seen a deer all week, might as well sleep up until noon. Ain't nobody coming up around here, take a seat right back, pop out a cold beer. We work hard for the money, buys gas, cold beer, a little wing for the honey. We'll grab a guitar, play a couple songs, sing along, light a cigar. Coming straight out the woodwork where the wild things lurk. Party up, half gone, get your backwoods on. There's blood, sweat, and joy-filled tears passed down this farm for all these years. Come on down, ain't nothing to prove. So kick back, go and put your feet up, hurry up. Come on, everybody, cut loose. Ain't nobody coming up around here, take a seat right back, pop out a cold beer. We work hard for the money, buys gas, cold beer, a little wing for the honey. We'll grab a guitar, play a couple songs, sing along, light a cigar. Coming straight out the woodwork where the wild things lurk. Party up, half gone, get your backwoods on. Get your backwoods on. And get your backwoods on.